All right, let's fast forward on this Deal Structure Sunday video this week and talk about a Payday 3. But before we do that, I want to preface it with a few things. We are sitting in a very interesting, to say the least, climate real estate-wise. And I just want to encourage you, if I say this on every video, it's not enough, because a vast majority of W2 Americans right now, North Americans, are stuck. And there's just zero reason to be in that mode. And I know it's the deal structure, but I want you to understand that just ahead of you, and just ahead could be 6 months, a year, 18, I don't know you yet, but just ahead of you are deals like this that you can create immediate cash flow, monthly cash flow, in long-term wealth. That's what the 3 paydays are. That's what we've trademarked and mastered all around North America. And I want to just right off the bat give you an opportunity, if you don't have it yet, to get our free best-selling books. The first one is the staple book, Real Estate on Your Terms. Now, why do I say that? Because we wrote 4 bestsellers now, but this one's going to walk you through A through Z of our system. All you got to do to get these for free. Now, this is not free, put in a credit card for shipping like so many people do. This is free. In our fulfillment room, we are going to ship this at our cost. All you got to do is go to wickedsmartbooks.com/YouTube. I want that to be your gift, especially as you look at how am I going to navigate in this real estate market. There's no better time. So stop watching the news and just trust that and grab the book. Now, let's talk about something here. Let's first of all, I'm going to bring up some documents here for you. I'm going to bring up what we call a short form lease. For those of you not in Texas, it's a sandwich lease, whereby we tied up a property way back in 2017 with a 5-year term that just cashed out, what you're going to see. And I'm also going to bring up for you the actual settlement statement, okay? So that you can see how these things intertwine. Now, there are plenty of videos I've done on YouTube where you can see how to cash these out and all the nuances. But I think once in a while, it's good that I show you reality. So let's pull those up now. On the screen, you will see a written document. These are all available, by the way, in our QLS Home Study Program. So I know that the print's not legible. The things I want you to know, I'll bring your attention to. First of all, I already said it was done way back in 2017. On a sandwich lease, if you look at Section 13, we'll scroll down for you. And let me explain to you what Section 13 is. Because a student will say to me, hey, can you review my document before I send it to a seller? I literally scroll right to 13. Because 13 says, what is the purchase price? And you'll notice it doesn't say a price where it says selling price. It says something to the effect, exact mortgage balance at time of financing and any cash that's due. In other words, if they had some equity, we lock that in. Why is that the way we do it before I show you this cash out? Because let's just use some round numbers from my brain to explain it easier to you. If I speak with you as a seller and you have a home that's $200,000 and you owe $150, I'm going to promise you the 50 equity. I'm not promising you a sale price. Why? Because the 150 grand underlying debt is going to be lower by the time I cash it out. And in this case, we promise them about $47,000, as you can see there circled in Section 13. But if you go down to Section 17, I think it is, where we stipulate who pays what, we get a little smarter in this over the years. In the past, we used to think, oh, wow, we need a reason to have the sellers do this. So we'll pay for everything at the end. We have all this money coming. We'll just pay for the closing costs and all that. Well, it's several $1,000s. And we came to realize that they don't care. And not only do they not care, they assume as a seller getting equity on the end. These are ones that have equity coming, like this one, that they pay their own closing costs. If you have tax stamps, transfer tax stamps in your area, they assume as a seller, if that's customary, they're going to pay them. So we started stipulating that they're going to pay them. Now, if they're getting zero equity at the end, we would pay them, right? They can't come out of pocket 5 years down the road. So we started off this deal saying the mortgages that are listed, by the way, if we can scroll down right into Section 8. Section 8 always lists, I think it's A and B, in Section 8, always lists the underlying debt as of the day we start. So in that Section 13, it always says, paying off that stuff you see in number 8 at the balance that's going to exist 5 years from now. Pretty cool. And then they're going to get their $47,000 less any offsets for tax stamps, any seller expenses at all. Now, with that as a backdrop, let's look at the settlement statement. First of all, the selling price, this is very interesting for you as a brand new investor or seasoned to know. The selling price, even though this is a sandwich lease, we're not the seller. The person on that lease, the seller that has title, is the seller. the purchase price is going to be the price that we contracted with our buyer. Okay, the gross sales price is on that settlement statement. Then if you notice on the very bottom of the settlement statement where it says cash due to seller, how come it's not 47 that we said? It's closer to 44. Why is that? That is the offset that Section 17 showed that said they're going to pay their own transfer tax and any seller expenses. So when I went through the settlement statement, I don't have to do it myself anymore. Our office administrator does an amazing job. She's done hundreds and hundreds of these. She calls the company. Attorneys aren't used to this and title companies aren't used to this. They don't get it. So she has to call them and explain to them how to prorate these things and which side of the ledger they belong on. And it come to find out that out of that 47, they had to offset it by about $3,000, give or take, right? To avoid the pennies here. So the bottom line, that's why it says about 44. They had some seller expenses. Now, how do you balance this settlement statement out? Move to the line, Ryan, if you could, where it says option release fee, CTPPS. That's one of our Connecticut entities for the state of Connecticut. You see that the balance of whatever's left after that 44 goes to the seller was $70,000. So we balance this whole thing out, reconcile it by putting all that to our option release fee. Now, different title companies call it different things. They can put lease fee, they can't put commission because we're not realtors. But in this case, 9 out of 10 put option release fee, and we got a $70,000 payday 3. Now, I want you to see this because you see all these deals, and every now and then we'll pull one of these kind of dual documents up when we do our Wicked Smart sit-downs that you're all invited to every Thursday. And we also do a lot of this on our private mastermind because we want the associates who are in our community to not just see reality and proof of concept, but to understand how these settlement statements work. I'm not expecting you to say after just seeing that little snippet there, oh, I get it. I could close one of these tomorrow. I wanted to expose that to you for 2 reasons. 3. 1, I said at the beginning, you can capture these deals in this real estate market more readily than we could the last 36 months. You really can. The sellers are in need of your help right now. All you got to do is train up. Go through the Real Estate on Your Terms book. We just gave it to you for free. Go through the QLS Home Study course. That can be found on our website. These are tools that will put you head and shoulders above all other investors. That's one reason you can capture it. Second reason is I want you to see proof of concept versus, oh, I see these deals on a whiteboard in theory, but then what happens? What are the nuances? What are the closings? And third, we always say that our family team, because this was our deal, this wasn't a student deal, we say that our family team has an average of 75 grand all 3 paydays. Just payday 3 there was 70. Just payday 3. Payday 1, I don't recall off the top of my head. It was a deal structure video we did. It was probably in the $20,000 range. And then every single month for 5 years, we had a spread of $300 or $400 a month. That's another what, 15 to 25,000, whatever that is. So this deal probably is sitting up in the low 100, over 6 figures, 125, whatever that comes to, maybe more. That's pretty cool. We don't show those all the time because our average is 75 grand. This is not a big house. You saw that in the selling price. So you can do this. I want you to understand that. I want you to invite you to wipe the whiteboard clean and allow us to take you by the hand so you can take sellers and buyers by the hand and create a fortune over the next 9 to 24 months, let's say. Why do I say 9 to 24? We're at the interesting point in the market, I said earlier in the video, where if you decide to sprint and you're committed and serious, this is not a cakewalk, I'm not watering it down, it's not easy. It's gonna be work, you're gonna roll up your sleeves. But if you do that with us, you have the opportunity to create potentially a decade of income over the next 9 to 24 months. And I know your first question when you contact someone on our team will be, but how quickly can I do that? How quickly can I get to, I don't know yet. We don't know you, just full disclosure. I don't know the baggage you bring to the table, we all have it. I don't know your skill sets or lack thereof. I don't know your money paradigms. But once we get into that, we'll get more predictable with you. And so what if it took you a full year, which it has taken some people, to do one of those deals, and then from that point thereafter, it got easier, and you got to think bigger, and your wealth started to parlay, and you started to stack. That's a pretty cool thought. So get after it this year. We're happy to help you do that, and I look forward to seeing you on our next weekly Wicked Smart Sit Down every week, 4 o'clock, Thursdays on Zoom. Go to smartrealestatecoach.com/events. Look forward to seeing you there.